Hey, welcome to the Art and Bible podcast where we have fun with art and learn a little bit about the Bible at the same time. Today we're going to be in the book of Joshua, and I'm going to show you a fun drawing to do, especially if you do it with black light chalk. Well, let me take my paper out because I want to point out some colors here first. They're easier to see without the paper there. I've got 6 pieces of fluorescent lecturer's chalk. This is blue, purple, yellow, orange, red, yellow, green, kind of a medium green. Here, this is a piece of fluorescent pastel that is kind of a pale green. I've got a black, a rust color, and a kind of a yellow or an orange brown, a yellow or brownish yellow. This is sometimes called yellow ochre, and a dark brown. I've got a light gray and a dark gray. I've got a ruler because I'm going to need that for some straight lines. A lot of times people say to me, "Oh, I can't draw a straight line." Well, neither can I. That's why I use a ruler. And then I've got my trusty pastel pencil just for some sketch because I'm going to be working on a black piece of paper here. So that's really all you need. If you want to do or see the black light, then you'll need to get you a black light, and in the links below you can find a place where you can get some blacklight material, where you can get the chalk that you need. This will work with regular chalk. It's just it won't glow in the dark like it will with a blacklight. Well, we're going to be looking at the fall of Jericho. God told Israel, the nation of Israel, once they crossed the Jordan River, to march around the city of Jericho one time a day for 6 days, and on the 7th day they were to march around it 7 times and then blow their trumpets, and the walls would fall down. And that's it's one of those times when it would have been really cool to be there and see just what God did. Well, we're going to sketch in a strong, big city here. Now I'm going to just use my ruler for a straight line, and I could just do this straight on, but we want to use a little perspective to kind of get a feel for how big this city is. So I'm going to put this, and if I were really trying to seriously draw in perspective, I would do a whole lot more preparation and sketch out horizon lines. But for this, I'm just going to put this at an angle, so it doesn't look like we're looking straight on to the city. Okay, just about a little more than a third of the way, not quite half. Then I'm going to come straight down now, just a little way. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I want to make sure I've got that same angle. I'm going to come down and just give a little smaller section off the side of the city wall there. Okay, and then I'm going to come down again. I want to try to keep that angle, so I'm going to come up here and match that angle. I love this ruler that has rollers on it because it makes it really easy to do this and not lose my angle. Okay, so I roll that down, and I'm going to put the gate to the city, somewhere around there. And then I'm going to come down a little farther. I guess I don't really need to do too much here. Okay. And again, I'm going to go straight vertical. If you need to use this line to kind of be a guideline. And then straight vertical. I actually did something wrong here because that's not true perspective. Okay, if I really want to have this in perspective, then this side needs to appear a little bit longer than the other. About like that. Okay, so we've got, again, our city gates. We want to make these gates look a little bit better. See, I've got a little compass here. Now we can come in here and just sort of round this off a little bit. Maybe do it like this. Well, I don't think my My pencil's going to fit in there, so that won't work. Okay, so I'm going to freehand it, and I'm just going to come, and that's not perfect, but it will do. Okay, actually, let's bring that over a little bit more. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to draw the city, but we're going to draw it in negative space. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my blue chalk. Actually, let's do our purple chalk. Okay, let's do our purple. And I'm going to come right down the side here and right along the edge. And I'm going to do the same thing up here. I want to make sure I don't go into the part that I set apart for the city wall. I just want to draw this just like this, negative space, which means I'm drawing the space around, and I'm leaving my city wall behind. Okay, now let's turn this little bit here into some distant clouds. And I'm going to also use negative space to draw a mountain. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a kind of a nice crisp edge here. And it's not a real big fancy mountain. Let's bring that down there. And let's just even that line out just a little bit more. I've got a distant mountain there now. All right, let me use my fingers to blend this out a little bit. I'll be careful as I go around the edge of the city of Jericho. Again, I'm going to smooth this out. Paper I'm working on is black pastel paper. You can use it, or you can use black construction paper, or another dark colored. If you've got like purple or dark blue, those would all work. Okay, so I've got my clouds just about in there, my cloudy sky. I can come back in if I want to and strengthen maybe the tops of those clouds just to get a little bit more definition in there. Just like that. Okay, so that gives more of a feel of distant clouds. And then if I want to, again, sort of give the feel of some grassy hills off in the background, and I can maybe, if I want, use my, let me try using my yellow-orange here and just throw a little highlighting on that mountain and to give it a little bit of a mountain feel. Okay, now I can also, I'm just going to use real light my red-orange chalk here, and I'm not going to press real hard, but I just want to give a feel for the city of Jericho and kind of give some substance to those city walls there. And then I'm going to use my lighter color, my lighter kind of an orange brown or brown orange. Okay, and those are going to be my gates. Clean my fingers off a little bit right on the paper here. Okay, use my yellow ochre to kind of suggest some hills and rocks here. I'm not going to draw each rock individually. I'm just going to put some lines down to give a little substance in the front here, and then maybe a little bit over here just so that we can see the city of Jericho. All right, and then I am also going to just kind of come in here with a little real light touch. Again, okay, so we have drawn the city, but remember the priests were supposed to march around it with the Ark of the Covenant once a day for 7 days, blowing the trumpets on the seventh day, and they marched 7 times around on the seventh day. But there was something else in this wall that we want to remember, and that something was a red cord. Actually, let me take my black here. Let's throw a window in here. I'm going to just darken this little area right here. We have a window. Maybe hit it with just a bit of a highlight. Now, if you're doing this for someone, maybe mom or dad, or some friends, you want to tell the story as you draw it. And so we've got the city of Jericho there. We've got the window drawn in and a scarlet cord hanging down out of that window. You remember what that was for. Rahab, the harlot, took the spies in and protected them as the leaders in Jericho were looking and trying to find them, and she hid them and sent them safely on their way. And because of that, they promised that when the city fell, they would protect her. Well, you can tell the story just like this, and if you have the blacklight chalk, you want to turn that blacklight chalk out. Now remember, we've been using purple for our background here, and you turn the blacklight on, and then you tell the story about how, as the priests marched around the city on the seventh day 7 times, and then they blew the trumpets, and what happened? Well, the walls of the city crumbled down, and they fell, and it was possible for the Israelites to just crawl right over and over the rocks and into the city itself. These and as I draw and describe the fact that that city fell just as God promised it would, I put a few edges in here just to show the sharp rocks where it's broken off now. But God also promised to preserve Rahab, and that's kind of a reminder to you and me that God made a promise to us in his son Jesus. Who went to the cross for us so that we could live. So when you see that fall of Jericho and you remember that scarlet thread, for us that scarlet thread was the blood that Jesus shed on Calvary for you and me, so that we could have life and forgiveness of sins. I hope you will try drawing this. It's a fun picture. It's an easy picture, and it's one, again, if you have blacklight and blacklight chalk, you can draw with your friends and or show to mom and dad, or even in a Sunday school class, and just have a really good time sharing the Word of God together. It's an easy picture, doesn't require a lot of practice, and it's a good one to share your faith with. Well, that's all the time we have today. I hope you will subscribe to this channel. You'll see a link for See the Light. See our logo. If you click on that, you can subscribe, and also check out some of these other videos. Check out my channel, and keep drawing, have fun, and I'll see you next week with a new picture.